Bonjour relatives, Shangwewe Kamigukwen Indigenous. I'm Jamie Kellicott with HIR Wellness Institute, and we are live for emotional sobriety. And I am getting our smudge ready. And I thought that while I get our smudge ready, we could go around and introduce ourselves. I already said the name. I'm our Community Indigenous Affairs Director here at HIR Wellness Institute. And HIR Wellness Institute is a nonprofit that offers free mental health and wellness services to Indigenous and underserved communities, and especially individuals who have been impacted and families who've been impacted by sexual assault, domestic violence, intimate partner violence, human trafficking, and MMIP, which stands for Missing and Murdered Indigenous People. And this program here that we do every Friday is called Emotional Sobriety, and we go live so that we can have some time with all of you relatives. We talk about substance misuse. We talk about healthy coping skills. We offer some of our own stories. I myself am walking in recovery. I've been walking the Red Road for 6 years. I'm in recovery from alcohol, and this is a part of my healing journey. And so we spend a little bit of time together every Friday, and I'm going to pass over to Xavier. Xavier, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well, Jamie. So good to see you. So good to see you as well, John. Happy holidays. Hello, relatives. My name is Xavier Smart. I am a CARES counselor here at HIR Wellness Institute. Being able to provide support in whatever way, in a variety of different ways, individual therapy, group therapy, advocacy work, support to our staff members, support to our interns. So I'm all over, very versatile. I love, the work that we do and being able to come together every Friday with each and every one of you just to provide a space of healing, a space of comfort and wellness for us all. So happy to be here this Friday with each and every one of you relatives, with Jamie and John. And with that being said, I'll pass it over to John.
Yep. Hey relatives, my name is John. I am a social work intern, and I go to school at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. And I'm glad to be here every Friday. And I also help Jamie co-facilitate for the survivors of suicide on Thursdays. And if you are interested in that, just feel free to email Jamie. I will put the email down below. And then I also just help out as much as I can with everything. And I work alongside, other interns as well, such as therapists and occupational therapists. Yep, and I'm just so glad to be here, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas for those who celebrate.
Absolutely. Thank you, Xavier. Thank you, John. So here's some smudge for both of you and all of you relatives. This is a way for us to start our time together in a good way. I wanted to start us today with a prayer before we read our Elders Meditation. So the holidays can be really difficult, and I know that we are in a time right now that is also difficult with the pandemic. And when you add substances to that mix, when there are struggles, when someone is walking with the struggle of substance misuse, the family can have a hard time, the individual is having a hard time. And so today I just wanted to take a few moments and bring that into this space so that we can think about our own relatives and our own family members and friends, loved ones near and far, who maybe are having a hard time right now. And I just want to say that this is a space for all of you. This is a space that you can come to every Friday, and we can spend a little time together and create safety together, talk about ways that we can, in a healthy way, cope with what's going on, because it's hard. It's a hard time. So, Buju Gichimanadu Shangwewe Kamigu Queen Indigenous Cause. Arawa Zaga Igne Ndonjaba Magazine Ndodum. Kichimanadu, I would like to pray for all of our friends and family, our relatives, near and far, who may be having a hard time right now. And I ask that you walk with them, and I ask ancestors that you walk with them, and that you wrap yourselves around whoever that is that needs it right now. I ask that you walk with all of us and wrap yourselves around all of us. Help us find our way to our true spirit, to our true source, whatever that means for each individual. I ask that you give them strength, give all of us strength. Help us find our way back to our true spirit and our true source, whatever that means for each individual, that we find and see that we are resilient, that we have the medicine within us. I pray that we take some time in nature and that we walk in nature. We find our way to present and sit with that for a while. And I pray that Gitchimanadu, ancestors, that you walk with us in those hard moments and that we're able to sit with those hard moments. That's healing. Miigwech Manadu, Miigwech Manadu, Miigwech Manadu. Aho. Miigwech, gentlemen, for being here and bringing your love and spirit into this space. We right now need a lot of really positive words, a lot of healthy words. Makes me think of Fande.
Yes.
Both of you a lot about that. And we need a lot of goodness and joy. And sometimes we need reminders of those things. It's always with us, always with us. Sometimes it's been covered up by a lot of stuff that's happened in life, and it's okay. It's okay. I have dealt with the same thing. I continue to deal with the same thing. Substance misuse has affected my family deeply, very deeply. I have relatives who are struggling today. So that prayer was for them as well. And I pray that they find their way to their true spirit, their true source. Maybe they'll find it here and we can talk with them here. So relatives, if you're with us today, sending you all kinds of love, all kinds of joy. We're thinking of you. This space is full. So thank you, Miigwech, for being here with us. And now I would like to ask, John, would you be willing to read the Elder's Meditation for us today to get us going?
Yep, I will definitely do that. And I'll,
Thank you.
and relatives, if you see someone moderating, that's also me. Just so you know.
Thank you, John.
And sometimes you might see my eyes going back and forth. And that's because I'm looking back and forth and just kind of reiterating what Jamie and everyone else is talking about.
Thanks,
Alright,
John.
so for the Elder's Meditation for today, it states, when you see a new trail or a footstep that you do not know, follow it to the point of knowing. And that's by grandmother of Charles Eastman, Santee Sue. We never gain new knowledge or experience unless we are willing to take risk. And then it states, it's good to be curious. Also, it pays to be cautious. Walk in balance. The path of the warrior is filled with opportunities to seek new knowledge. And then, as we travel down the red road, we will run into trails of opportunities. Down each of these trails are experiences from which we will learn. Experiences plus action is the beginning of knowledge. Great Spirit, help me make good choices and choosing only the trail you would have me take.
Miigwech. Thank you, John.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. As you were talking, I can envision trails and like new paths and new journeys that we all are given. If you really think about it, every day has a new opportunity to walk a different path, to maybe look around and say, oh, I've never tried that way. Let me go that way and see what I find. What opportunity might be right around the corner, waiting for us, just waiting. This is a time, right now I'm feeling the need to remind all of you relatives that you were born with precious gifts. All of you. Every single one of you has a precious gift. And part of our journey here is finding our way to that precious gift. Like with open arms, welcoming it in, welcoming your gifts in, and then utilizing them, doing good in the world with them, bringing so much joy and love to you and to those around you by using those gifts. Xavier, how are you feeling right now? What's sitting with you with that meditation?
Yeah, I think what's standing out is as we travel down the red road, we will run into trails of opportunity. Down each of these trails are experiences from which we will learn. That part stands out to me the most. I think simply because there's just so much information from the life experience that we go through that can really help guide us and push us forward when we encounter similar situations and things like that. So just being able to take some time to sit and reflect on past life experiences and saying like, hey, what did I learn from this experience? What did this experience teach me? Did it teach me how to be patient? Did it teach me how to love myself, love others, right? And just being aware of that and understanding that no matter which trail we take relatives, like it doesn't matter which trail you take, that ultimately those trails will teach you something that, like Jamie said, will bring you closer to your gift and closer to who you are and who you're meant to be on your journey. So I think just, keeping that in mind and being able to understand that even, struggling with substance misuse, that it isn't an easy road. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult. Some days will be easier than others, but understanding that, hey, there's still something here for me to learn. What is this teaching me? It's teaching me how to be resilient, how to speak up for myself and say, no, I don't need that substance, and learning how to find those boundaries. So just being aware of these just different lessons and opportunities that each trail, no matter how smooth or how bumpy it is, like it still has, this magical lesson that's for us and that's meant for us to learn. So
Absolutely. Thank you, Xavier. Miigwech. John, what about you? How are you feeling with all that?
I'm on the same boat like Xavier, so thank you for sharing that, Xavier. And when I read this, I think about like for individuals who are struggling with sobriety and, sometimes taking a different path or taking a risk, even at sobriety, for some people, that risk for sobriety is scary because you're so
Yeah.
used to, sometimes you prefer to be where you're at because you're comfortable, and taking a risk, even for sobriety, can be a huge task. And just finding that balance and just working your way slowly. So usually when I think of this and taking a risk at your sobriety, your well-being, it's worth it. And
Yeah.
it is risky, and for some people, they're not there yet, and it's okay because it's your own journey, and it's when you feel like you're ready. It's the risk is there, but you have to think about the positives that you're gaining as well. So just kind of weighing the pros and cons and just kind of seeing both sides of the picture, finding the balance between it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Thank you, John. Balance.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm thinking about how I wish that someone would have told me many years ago that it's okay to feel pain, that it's okay to feel hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then if somebody would have helped me see that you can sit with those feelings, that you can honor them, that you can be scared, that you can be nervous, and you can start to feel again. And then those feelings might be scary, and it's okay. It's okay to like legitimately just feel that. Allow yourself to feel that and be like, wow, okay, now let me maybe put names to it, or maybe let me friend it and say, okay, holy crap, I'm really feeling scared right now, and I really want to just make this stop. I don't want to feel.
Yeah.
Nobody ever told me that you actually have to feel. And it's okay to feel that. It's okay to feel the scariness and the pain and the hurt and the sadness. And then as we're feeling it, and maybe we're friending it and saying, all right, you're here with me again. All right, sadness. Okay, uncomfortableness. Here we go. All right, I'm going to hang on. We're going to go there. We're going to be upset and sad or scared. But I'm going to honor myself, my spirit, and say, I'm going to feel it. And then I'm going to release it. See, so nobody really ever told me that you can do those things. And so instead, it was like, well, I don't like how that feels, so I'm running. I'm running away, and I'm going to go do whatever it is that I have to do to make me stop feeling that. I don't want to feel it anymore. And no one said, hold on, Jamie, hold on. It's okay. I know it feels really scary right now and it hurts. How about we just hold on and let's just feel it. Let's honor the feeling that we're having right now. And so then that meditation kind of reminds me that there are literally all these different options in a day that we have, different paths, different trails that we can take. And every single one of them might look scary as all get out. And it might be like, I feel something there? Nope. I feel something there? Nope. Feel something? Oh, no. I feel that? I don't like that one bit. Not going there. The reality is, though, relatives, is that we need to take those risks, even if it's a little baby step risk. It's like, you know what? I don't like how that looks. Okay. I remember what John and Xavier and Jamie were talking about, and they were like, you got to feel it. Let's feel it, just even if it's a little bit. Let me take a little walk on that trail. Just a little walk. Let me see what happens. And then maybe what I'm going to do is stop and take some deep breaths. I'm going to deep breath. I'm going to deep breathe. I'm going to breathe in through my nose for 4, out through my mouth for 6. If that's the way I like to do it, there's many of them. Maybe I'm going to hold my heart and I'm going to deep breathe. And I'm going to think about breathing in all kinds of beautiful color, whatever that is, that fills my heart and my spirit up with joy. I'm going to breathe out anything that has been holding me back. And maybe it's that fear of that trail. Maybe it's the fear of that trail, whatever you're seeing. And it's like, I'm scared. I don't like that feeling. I don't want to go there. So I'm going to breathe in good. I'm going to breathe out the scaredness, the fear. And so maybe we took one step towards that trail of a different opportunity. And then we started feeling something in our body like, no, I don't want that. And then I said, oh, wait, remember, I can do this. I'm going to deep breathe. I'm going to breathe right now. And maybe in a little while, I can take another step towards that trail. Or maybe it's tomorrow. What I want you all to know is that it's not the length and the amount of things or places that you've gone on this journey or these trails. It's those little baby steps that you took, little micro baby steps that you're taking on your journey, on your healing journey, which is so sacred to you. And it's going to look different for everyone. We're all of ours is going to look different. What works for me might not work for John or for Xavier and vice versa. It's okay. We try these little micro steps. And if it doesn't work, it's okay. We'll try again. We'll try again. When we come together, we're talking about different ways, different healthy coping skills that we can use. Maybe one isn't for us, but there might be another one. And I also want to encourage you to not give up. So if it didn't work today, that doesn't mean that it will never work. It just means that in this moment, it wasn't feeling right for whatever reason. That's okay. It's okay. We are also, as we meet together on Fridays, we're also working through a workbook that we have called Maintaining Emotional Sobriety During COVID-19, Transforming Trauma into Post-Traumatic Growth. And this is a workbook by Tian Dayton. And today, I would love it if Xavier would read some for us. The last few weeks, relatives, we've been talking about how do we create safety for ourselves? How do we do that? And so one thing that we always like to remind ourselves is that first off, the fact that we're in this time right now with COVID-19, we've got COVID, we've got substance misuse, we've got feeling just maybe sad because we're not with our relatives, our family members, our friends. Things just seem hard right now. You're not alone. We're in this together. I also want you to envision us putting a box around this moment in time right now, this time period of the pandemic and what we're dealing with. Go ahead and even maybe do that every now and then when you need a reminder that there is a beginning and an end. It is not going to last forever. We can think of this time period and we can literally do that and be like, oh yeah, I remember, beginning, end. Whew, okay, this is not happening forever. There is a time where we are going to be able to see each other again physically. Not going to last forever. That goes with those hard feelings that we have sometimes as we're walking the red road, as we're walking in our recovery, as we're walking our healing journey. There is inevitably going to be hard feelings that come up. You can take that hard feeling and be like, whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
That feeling is going to begin and end. It's not going to be there forever. We can deep breathe through it. We're going to get through it. So, Xavier,
Yes.
I would love if you would read a little bit for us, please.
Yes, absolutely, I will. All right, so I am just going, yeah, so relatives, I'm just going to go back to when we talked about creating safety and just kind of reread that paragraph for us again, just to kind of bring us back to a point in this workbook and why we're reading certain things, right? And especially during this time and dealing with substance misuse during COVID and what it is that we need to do to help us not only, create that box, right, but also to create safety during this time. So I'll start just by reading this paragraph. It's very important to be proactive and institute the kinds of buffering basics into your day that keep you resourced, that reduce stress and build resilience. The supports that you put in place now can serve as safeguards to alleviate or lessen some of the unusual stress that come that could become cumulative. Setting up a
Mm,
schedule, a support network, and recovering a sense of safety, personal space, and quiet can help you to avoid falling into the kinds of problems that could worsen over time. So I just love that paragraph and everything about it, and just this aspect of it's during this time, and everyone's, some of us quarantined to our homes, and everyone is at home, right? We have family, we have the kids, we have a spouse, partners, whoever we all may be, just all together, right? And there's no sense of personal space. You may have one person that works at this time, and the kids are running around, and there's just noise, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, right? So being able to think about ways that we can again create safety for ourselves, create a space of create boundaries, create these personal boundaries for ourselves, so that we can feel a sense of peace during this time, right? So we can um, just understand how we feel, understand how we can connect with others during this time. So with that, I'll continue reading just some ways that we can create safety. I know we were in our previous weeks, went through some things. For example, we talked about breathing as always, being able to breathe, being able to have rituals as a family, starting a new project, right? Whatever those things may look like, and just giving yourself, relatives, permission to take it a day at a time, right? To remember to say, hey, today is today. I'll worry about tomorrow, and then going from there. So today, I'm just gonna read three practical ways we can create safety. So the first one is to get out into nature and fresh air as often as you can. It will soothe your soul. Reconnect with the
mm,
outdoors, listen to nature sounds, observe, walk, look around, and appreciate all that is beautiful about the world we live in.
mm, mm. Yeah, yeah,
Any thoughts on that one, Jamie or John?
I do. As you were reading this, I was thinking about my walk today that I took, and I was thinking about a podcast I was listening to. Um, and there was some really great reminders in this podcast talking about um, how we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and talking about how to be present versus like having to explain what you're seeing, and just taking yourself into nature and just being, observing what it is, just looking around and being present and seeing, is the fact that we take ourselves outside and our senses are all being activated. We're smelling new things, we're seeing new things, we're feeling new things potentially, we're maybe feeling the wind on us. We may be walking up to a tree and touching the tree, feeling that energy from the tree, feeling the energy from Mother Earth, the ground. There's so many wonderful things. I love going in nature, so that I'm all about that. Love it, love it. That's where I go to cry. That's where I go to laugh. That's where I go to just be. It's like, yeah. So that is absolutely number one on my list for creating safety, going out in nature. Yeah.
Yeah, and just kind of
Thank you
following
for
up
reading
on
that.
that, I love that a lot because it just kind of changes the pace. Because I know that nowadays with the COVID, pandemic, people feel like they're stuck, they can't go anywhere, they feel trapped. So just changing this scenery around you, and like what Jamie said, it opens your senses to new things outside of being at home,
Mhm.
and just
Right.
listening and just feeling the wind and stuff like that. Those are very
Absolutely.
therapeutic and healing in its own way. And again, relatives, what works for Jamie and I or Xavier may not always work for you, and that's okay. That's why we're exploring all of these ideas, because something may come up where it does work for you. And just kind of like what Jamie was saying, just because it didn't work the first time, maybe the next few times when you try it, it will work. Because again,
Mhm.
all of these technique comes from practice and utilizing it more and more often. Because if you don't use it, then you won't see the benefits of it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Thank you both for sharing. Yeah, I'm also I love nature. Like my favorite thing to do is not, as everyone knows in the office, I don't like to wear shoes. So I'm always running around without shoes. And for me, I love being outside without any shoes on. Just because it kind of gives me this sense of connection. I feel connected to Mother Earth, and it just helps to ground me and really soothes me whenever I'm feeling down, feeling uncertain about things, feeling fear or anything like that. Something that I just enjoy doing. And I know it's hard right now, relatives with COVID and not being able to go anywhere or hike or do anything like that, right? But again, being able to just observe, something that I like to do every morning when I wake up is just sit on my bed and open my windows and just look outside and just kind of sit in silence, right? And just take some time to pray, thank the Creator for another day, and just observe the trees, see the birds fly, listen to, if they're singing, and just take that time to create a ritual, right? As a way for myself to create safety, a routine, sense of routine for starting the day. So relatives, again, the things that we bring into this space, right? Like Jamie and John stated that, not everything works for everyone. So, but it's worth a try, right? Being able to walk a different path and see where that takes you, and then walk another path, see where that takes you. So, um, thank you both for sharing and bringing your voices into this space. So I'll continue with the um, second way that we can create safety. So, second way is that we stay positive. That's a tough
Mm.
one. So this one's saying, watch your narrative. If you have a doom and gloom narrative, try changing it to a we'll all be fine if we pull together and keep our heads straight. This one is a game changer. Your attitude is up to you. No one can adopt a positive attitude for you. You owe it to yourself and to those close to you to stay positive.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yes. Oh, I love this. I love this.
Yeah.
I I can remember a time where everything that I was feeding my head and my heart and spirit was the opposite.
Mm.
And when I started being intentional about what I listened to, what I watched, what I read, what I said to myself and to anyone around me, totally life changing, totally life changing. And I now that I've come as far as I have in my healing journey, and believe me, it's a lifelong process that will never end. It is something that we're doing all the time. But I do see that when I started changing my narrative, I started finding my authentic voice.
Mm.
My authentic voice, and I really believe that all of our authentic voices is not harmful and is not full of darkness and hate and just like hurtfulness, stickiness. And I really believe that our authentic voice is filled with love and filled with joy, happiness. It takes time and it takes practice. It takes practice to be able to see things for an opportunity, or as an opportunity when something maybe doesn't go right. And one way that we can do that is by simply writing one thing down that we're grateful for every single day. That's one practice that we can do to help us change the way we view things, the way that we think about things. Being grateful. Saying, I'm grateful that I was able to sit and look out my window and just see what's there. Or I'm grateful that I had a phone call with my family members. You know, whatever it is. So yes, positive, stay positive. Love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm the same way. You know, staying positive was definitely a challenge for me, you know, and I know that's a challenge for many people, just because people are so keen on like focusing on just the negative things and the little things that are going wrong in life. And, you know, again, it's something that took many, many years of practice and continuously still working on it every single day. And, you know, it's okay to have those negative thoughts, but once you start learning to recognize it, you can start changing the narrative right away and start turning it into a positive statement. How can you turn this negative moment into something more positive? And that's something that comes with practice. And, you know, definitely we're still, you know, learning how to do that. I know I am. And again, like, you know, writing something positive or reading positive quotes and affirmations, those are very important because it's important to be kind to yourself during this time, this pandemic, or when you're feeling down and you feel like you're hopeless or just feeling negative thoughts about yourself. And again, relatives, it's something that it doesn't happen within a few days to a week. It took me several months to years to even really start understanding that. And again, you know, it does work, but you have to trust the process of actually trying to do it and don't give up on yourself because you're worth it.
Mm. Thank you both for sharing. Thank you, John. Yeah, definitely staying positive is such a hard thing to do, and a hard thing to navigate. Um, and for me, it's just something that I still kind of, you know, struggle with, right? Finding moments of positivity, learning to friend the thoughts and the feelings that I have. You know, that's like Jamie said, it's part of the healing process, something that is lifelong and that we all just go through and maneuver through. So being able to really just navigate that. And in terms of watching our narratives and the way we talk to ourselves, you know, that's so important. Um, and you know, when we think about substance misuse and learning how to navigate that, um, sorry for the noise in the background if there's any noise. Um,
It's a
but
happy holiday.
it's the holidays, yes. um, but yeah, absolutely. Being able to change our narratives. You know, oftentimes we become the narratives that people have placed upon us, right? We've heard these people of call us, oh, you're an alcoholic, oh, you're a druggie, you're this, you're that. And we start to believe and we start to say, like, yeah, I am this. So, relatives, I'm here to let you know, I'm here to tell you that you are not those things. You're not an alcoholic, you're not a druggie, you are someone that is simply just struggling with substance misuse, right? And we often say that substance misuse rather than alcoholic or addiction or anything like that, because it's really about changing that narrative and changing the way we see and talk about um, individuals that are struggling with substance misuse. So I just want to put that out there, and again, being able to friend the thoughts and the feelings that we experience, and understand that some days again will be better than others, but remembering those paths that we've had in the past and being able to say, okay, what did I learn from that experience, and how can I take that lesson and push myself forward with this experience that I'm experiencing right now in the present moment. So I'll just read the last and final practical way that we can kind of create safety. And I think this one is super important. So this one is, don't isolate. So lean into your relationships. Research is absolutely clear on this one. Relationships are key in maintaining both emotional and physical health. We are pack animals. We need each other. Social isolation is only physical. You do not need to isolate from family and friends thanks to technology. Keep in touch with the people in your life who matter to you.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes, thank you, Xavier, for reading that and bringing that into the space. This is a beautiful one to end on, because there's a couple things that I'm thinking about relative. One, it is very easy right now for us to get in touch with each other. We don't have to just because we're physically distancing ourselves does not mean socially we have to, meaning we can reach out through social media. We could call or text. We could do a FaceTime. We could do a Zoom. We could do Google Meets or Team, or there's all kinds of different things out there that we could we could still see each other through technology. I also want to bring up a topic real quick that I think is necessary. Many times when we have been struggling with substance misuse, we have strained relationships with people around us. Maybe it has caused some harm to our family and friends. So as we've been hurting, we've been misusing substances to help us through that hurt, that pain that we are feeling. And we don't know how, or haven't learned yet at the moment, how do I deal with that pain without having to use a substance? Many times when we've done that, there has been strain that has been put on family members around us, friends that are around us, maybe even colleagues. And so then that may cause certain people to have a boundary where they say, I can't do this anymore. I can't talk to you because you continue to misuse substances. These are realities, right, of things that really are happening in some of our lives. And so what I say to you is that you still don't have to isolate. There are support groups. There are online meetings for AA or Wellbriety or Generation Red Road or any number of online support groups with other individuals who are struggling with the same thing. Other relatives out there who are also experiencing substance misuse, and they're feeling like, I feel alone because no one wants to talk to me. I want to be able to talk to my family. I want to be able to talk to my friends. But they're hurting too, and they don't know how to communicate with me, or I don't know how to communicate with them because they're not really understanding. That happens a lot. It happens a lot. And so I just remind you that you're not alone. Maybe right now, friends and family are at a point where they're like, I can't do this. I'm hurting too, and I don't know how to help. I don't know what to do. And so instead of staying in this cycle of like us as the person who's misusing the substances saying, but I need you and I want your help, and then the family member or friend saying, I don't know how to, I can't do it anymore. There's boundaries now that have been set. That's okay. Boundaries are healthy and they help us find our way back to balance. It's okay. But there are other things out there, support groups, numbers you can call, websites that you can visit. So many online meetings right now for individuals who are struggling with substance misuse. So if you have a computer, if you have a phone, there are many people out there. You can find a sponsor if you enjoy AA. If you enjoy church and things like that, there are many support groups through churches. If you are culturally connected to your whatever your culture is, look into that. Look into if there's spiritual leaders who are out there, because there are people there to talk to. And so sometimes, I only say this because sometimes we think that who we stay connected to has to be our family and friends. And if we're at a point on our journey where there's been a lot of hurt, maybe right now is not the time. Maybe it's time to start looking into other options, such as support groups, spiritual leaders, the church, AA, online meetings, whatever that is. And if you're looking for suggestions or you need some help with that or advocacy, you can reach out to us on Facebook Messenger at HIR Wellness Institute, and we will help you find some resources if we don't have them. We have many resources. Today's Live is one of them. We have a support group on Thursdays. We have book clubs that are starting soon. So there's many different things. So that's my reminder. Don't isolate. Find someone or something that you can call or reach out to, something that you can join so that you can learn from other people as well. Xavier, thank you for reading all of those. Were amazing reminders. I would love, since it is the holiday, it is Christmas, so Merry Christmas, everyone. I would love if we could end with a checkout and just a message from each of you to our relatives. And either one can start, whoever would like to start.
I can start.
Okay.
My message, relatives, I am grateful to be a part of first of all, an amazing organization that allows us to bring our voices into spaces to provide healing in so many different ways, to provide support in so many different ways. And relatives, this year has been such a roller coaster of a year. And, as we prepare for a new year, let us take time to reflect and let us take time to think back to the lessons that we've learned this year. And not only the lessons, but reflecting on the good that has come out of this year. There's again been so many ups and downs, so many changes that hasn't really allowed us to reflect on the good. So just take some time out to reflect on some of those good moments that have happened to you this year, and sit with that, and then just and try our best, right, to take it slow, continue to take it a day at a time, and always come back to our breathing, connecting to ourselves, connecting to our heart and our spirit, and remembering, that we need each other, that we truly need each other. And we at HIR Wellness, we're here for each and every one of you relatives, which is why we do the work that we do. We love the work that we do. And we're here to support you all in whatever way that we can. And we thank you all for allowing us to do that and bring this love and support to the community. And happy holidays.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I can go. Thank you for sharing that, Xavier. And again, huge shout out to HIR Wellness, and again, just everything that HIR Wellness is doing. And I just love how we're switching up the services to cater to the situation, so that way we can still provide these services for you relatives, and just want to thank everyone for joining every week and also participating and just kind of calling us and reaching out to us, because that means a lot. Because we are here to help support you, and we want you to feel like we are a safe space to reach out to. And that's why, even on a holiday, we're here because we want to be here. We don't have to, but we want to, because we know that there are people who are struggling during these time, and holiday can be very rough for many relatives, and even for some of us, especially this year. It's just extra hard with just the limitations of everything, lack of traveling and stuff like that. So again, that's why we're here, and we want to provide that support. And you can always reach out to us, again, like by Facebook or calling the number on our website and stuff like that. And I'm just so thankful to be here every Friday with Jamie and also Xavier for this group, because it is so important. And we are here for you, relatives. So definitely reach out if anything.
Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you, Xavier. Thank you, John. Relatives, sending you so much love and so much peace and joy. We all hope, that you are having a really wonderful holiday week. If it's kind of a struggle, reach out to us. If it is kind of a struggle, I would ask that you stop and take a moment to deep breathe, and take a moment to be gentle with yourself. Take a moment to honor the feeling that you're having, and know that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay. Take a moment to maybe sit outside, breathe in some fresh air. Maybe take a piece of paper and write down what you're grateful for. Just one thing. What's one thing that you're grateful for? I'm grateful today in this moment to be here talking with all of you and spending time with all of you. All of our spirits and our energy is coming together in this moment in time. And we are healing in this moment in time. CAM, Community Activated Medicine. The people are the medicine. You and I are the medicine. We have it already within us. I hope you have a really great rest of your day. And we will see you again next week, Friday. And until then, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a really beautiful day. And we'll see you soon. Giga Wabaman.